If you find the information useful, please click the like button so others can find our content. For more information, please visit us at thejerusalemassembly.org. If you have questions, contact us on our Facebook page. The links are provided in the description below. January 27, 2020. The Spiritual Light Forces. By Ruben D. Garcia. Greetings, my beloved readers, friends, and my warriors of the light. I am excited today because I have waited for a long time to be able to write about this topic since 1981, when I received the message in which a divine intervention would take effect in the near future for humanity. Of course, this divine intervention would be precluded by the birth or appearance of individuals with unique spiritual characteristics, and I referred to these spiritual individuals as God's chosen ones, which became the title of my novel, and published in 2005. The reason for this delay in writing about these spiritual individuals was because not until the right moment would they come. Initially, I am going to be honest, I did not understand the mission for these to be spiritual individuals, because at that time, I and the rest of humanity were engulfed in a deceptive and powerful state of consciousness, arbitrarily creating our realities without our inputs. It was the norm for hundreds of years, affecting generation after generation. It was not until December of the year 2012, when all of the arbitrary powerhouse of humanity's consciousness began to be altered, that the spiritual individuals began to be awakened, and with it a new radical transformation, consequently, awakening me also, and finally understanding the meaning and purpose of the children of the light. Since December 2012, the mechanism or processes of this awakening brought awareness that peace, not war, was the answer to humanity's disaccords or differences. Through this awakening, a new level of consciousness began to emerge from within each now awakened spiritual individual. Initially, it began by praying and supplication to the higher order, the great I Am, that humanity was in urgent need for a transfiguration. Simply, humanity needed urgently to change its course, for if humanity continued on that path of darkness as it has been doing for hundreds of years, all would culminate in a complete extinction, not only for humanity but for the earth and its creatures. Such was the profound impact of these spiritual individuals that not only the citizens of heaven had concerns for the state of humanity, but also was the great I Am, God. From the year 1987, when each spiritual individual began to pray earnestly, that a divine decree was enacted. Most of humanity did not perceive the onset of what is now called a transcendency. It was to be an independency, a rising above or going beyond the level of consciousness humanity had existed for millennia. It was to be an unheard divine act, and it was. Thus, this rising above the constraints of humanity's conscience slavery was to be the beginning of something great. As the year 2000 came, expectations were high for the general public, as we all were contemplating a new century, and the beginning of millennia. For the most part, there were all sorts of critical predictions, and in some cases a euphoric attitude toward a more profitable period for all of humanity. As for the then called spiritual individuals, a new consciousness began to emerge within each individual. Initially, all of their requests manifested as prayers were carried, done, or performed according to the view of each individual's awakening. Still, the numbers increased as each passing year. During the year 2000, all sort of speculations began to emerge that the beginning of the new millennia was to be a sort of chapter ending for humanity. The emerging speculative ideology prior to this date ran from the extreme to the foolish ones. Nevertheless, in some cases a more ideal futuristic view would emerge, and as always it was overwhelmed by the Hollywood chaos, famine, and death ideology must human perceived, and of course, movies were made to depict such view. It was a demanding period for the spiritual awakened individuals to emphasize peace, love, and kindness to be the aspects of the new millennia. In various instances they were seen, and considered to be reprehensible individuals rather than visionaries. Oh, yes, approaching the year 2000 was not a very comfortable for the children of the light, as they became known years later after the start of the new millennia. Names and most often the purpose of these children of the light became more and more in the open, and became the advisor, the guides that today provide the universal messages to humanity through various medias. Since December 2012, the numbers of children of light have increased exponentially. Not only, the children of light emerged with a new level of consciousness, but also the rising to the level of being awakened are also the group known in the divine and spiritual world as the star seeds. Both, the group, the light workers who were previously known as the children of the light, joined forces on this earth to bring about not only a new level of conscience awareness but also to unite and assist all of humanity to become cognizant who was the true creator, why was humanity created, but most important, what purpose has humanity in all of these. Therefore, as humanity has now entered the year 2020, which happens to be the most valuable period for humanity, and just as the light workers and the star seeds united to bring about a new revelation for all of humanity, now it is up to each human being, regardless of culture, beliefs, or spiritual ideology, to recognize that unification, not separation, is the main ingredient to a new humanity. It is a just cause to achieve the level consciousness, not only to rise to greater humanity but a vital necessity toward humanity's footprint in the future of this and other universes. It sounds wild and preposterous? Of course, to some of the individuals that may not want to see beyond the horizon because the fear of the unknown, or may be hesitant to be part of something extraordinary in which manifestation for an open mind is necessary, and the comfort zone is better than uncertainty or fable potentialities. Either you believe in a divine decree to bring about a greater humanity into the realm of galactic proportions, or you don't. However, there is no wrong answer or stand, because if you are awakened, that is, you are perceiving that there are forces beyond you that are playing a major role in rising humanity, you, to higher levels of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to achieve greatness beyond belief. Once you have become illuminated, the rewards are immeasurable. It brings much joy in all of your daily activities as you apply the virtues of patience, compassion, forgiveness, and love to every task you are presented with. As for the individual that prefers not to accept, at this time, due to their choice of free will, the perception that a greater force has intervened in humanity's best interest, it is all quite all right, my dear friend. Just because you cannot agree for whatever personal reason you captivate in your mind, fear not for any divine reprisal or negative intervention. To the contrary, all the energy waves that arrived, and the ones due to arrive in the next months, have for purpose to continue affecting and stimulating the earth, and us of course, and you. Our keenness rests in understanding the wave's purpose. It affords us the spiritual and emotional opportunities to recognize first that the waves are beneficial first of all. 2. The less apprehensive we are of its effect, the more spiritual and emotional benefits we receive, and is applicable to enhance our consciousness. And finally, this may sound odd but it is the truth, the more you accept the existence and phenomenal benefit it has in you, the joyful, happy, and relaxed you will find yourself been throughout the daily routines. Thus, here is my proposition to you, my dear readers and friends: join us not in financial rewards or in any rewarding aspects that conflict with divine spirituality. That is not what is needed. What is truly needed is for you to join the divine and spiritual movement of the light workers and the star seeds. There is no fee, no paperwork, or need to be in monthly meetings. All that you need is one vital principle: pray. Yes, that is it. Pray with a fervent and passionate heart, defining love to be in all the things you do daily. From the onset of getting up to the minute before you go to sleep. Along with prayers, practice forgiveness, be grateful. Don't hold grief, hatred, dark thoughts, or any kind of negative emotions that follow you wherever you go. Don't let negativity follow you like a shadow follows a body. Simply saying it, my dear friends, be this, the aspects of a Christ conscience. In short, practice what we all learned, and is found in the teaching of the great Master, Jesus, since childhood at our organizations of spirituality, and you will discover an unbelievable domain in which love, peace, harmony, and compassion reign supremely, and that is what it is all about, what the cosmic waves are offering us. Join the spiritual light forces through your good deeds, your prayers, and your commitment to believe that your Supreme Creator, the Great I Am, has nothing less but the best divine purpose for you, your loved ones, and all of humanity to be His children, and walk in a light body with him for all times. And so it is, my beloved readers, and friends.